Hello, this is Sci-Fi Junkie again on this lovely, wonderful Wednesday afternoon. And today I wanted to go over what I've heard last night from a radio station. I should say internet radio station in my case, because I listened to it through the internet. Some of the stuff that they said last night. And I'll go ahead and post a link to that particular segment so you can actually hear hear the whole almost 2 hours worth of radio. But they do go into some detail about vaccines and how there's some questionable stuff in it and how they're implemented and a couple other things, and how they can actually hurt people regardless of what what your doctors and nurses have told you in the past. The funny thing is, I've kind of already sort of know some of the stuff. I don't know in great detail. It's been, a couple of years since I've actually looked into that stuff. And so I kind of know some of it. But for somebody that's never looked it up or anything like that, and going to base their opinions on what this radio station says without any way of being able to verify it, because the show notes in the radio station, on the radio station page for this particular segment, doesn't go into particular detail. It doesn't even show where they got their sources. It doesn't show how they got how they conducted their research, by how they gathered it and everything. Now, when I was going to OSU IT, or Oklahoma State University Institute of Technology, I had to write a number of papers for my before I had to bring it down. No, actually, I was going for my bachelor's in IT, with emphasis in security, so cybersecurity, something like that. Anyway, so I had to do a number of background checks to even go for that degree. But while I was going for that degree, I had to write a number of papers on a number of things, and I had to gather all my research and everything like that. And how I had to do it is I had to go ahead and cite it in the paper, and then put it in a citation page exactly where I got it from. Exactly. Be it a book, be it internet, be it a radio. Exactly. I had to do exactly that. So that's when after getting out of college, I started to not really necessarily believe news channels, our local Channel 9, Channel 4, and Channel 5 when it comes to stuff like the coronavirus, because they have a tendency to, more times than not, show how they got their sources. And that even includes, a couple of YouTube videos that I've watched over the lovely years. There's one channel in particular called China Uncensored that I actually do like, because they actually show a majority of how they got their sources, whipping up the Twitter, the tweet they're reading, or however they got their information, they actually pop it up on screen. So I tend to believe them more than most YouTube news channels. And since so I guess you could say, in my humble opinion, if they don't show how they've gathered their research, or I should say, where they got their information from in one form or another, then I would not entirely trust them, because they could be just pulling stuff right out of thin air and saying that that's true. That's how it works. Because that's how some of it actually does work. So, with that being said, just be careful who you believe. And until next time, don't have too much fun.